YouTube, Chris the Cottage Gardener. Welcome back to another video. What a different old day. I mean, I was filming yesterday at one of my other properties, which incidentally was a mill. This is called mill, but it's not. There's no water around this one. But actually there is, and I'll tell you about it later on. By the way, what a gorgeous day it was yesterday. Birds were singing, there wasn't a breath of wind in the air. And it was just stunning. Here today, I'll tell you what, some days seem to have more unlucky weather. I don't know if all the other gardeners find this, but I find Thursdays to be the dankest day of the week on record, because this garden is behind. Hoping to catch up over the next couple of weeks, but this garden is behind on general scrubbing back and tidying up. Some of the stuff that should have really honestly been done in autumn, but we got a whole load of it. Anyway, starting up this end, when I was here last week or the week before, I put up a picture about putting horse milk roses in, and as I was going around doing it, I counted in not only this part of the rose garden, but I'd say this half of the garden. It's quite extensive ground here, over 150 varieties of rose. Absolutely gorgeous. I did do a rose pruning video last summer here. If you can't wait for the one that I'm going to do this year once they all come, which is a bit strange, kind of wishing away, well, not wishing away, but talking about the flowers cutting back, which we haven't even done. Anyway, here's a link to that. I'm going to be doing some maintenance today, have a couple of bits of chat along the way as well, but let's make our way down to a couple of the beautiful collared dove just coming across the field there, and we'll discuss what we're going to be doing and have a look at this beautiful garden. Alrighty, so I'm in the lower garden here, and as you can see, need a lot of tidying up. We've got things like the crow crossbill creature down here, we've got anemones, you know, standard sort of thing that will fall over and just look really untidy. So we're going to work our way through here, do a bit of weeding at the same time, and just generally do a bit of cutting back, a bit of thinning. Got all things like around here which just need a bit of a thin out and a general tidy up. Oh, there are some more roses down here, and when I went round and did the horse muck, I went and put it down on these beds as well, and it looks like the homeowner has been down here and put a bit of potash around certain bits and bobs. But anyway, this is going to be the first task in here. There's going to be quite a lot. I'm going to give the shrubs just a little tickle over as well. A zoom is what we call it with the hedge cutter. Just give them a quick little tidy shape up. I'm going to fill the barrow up with the first lot, and I'm going to show you the most embarrassing bonfire I've got in my properties. Normally I like to do one a year. We've done so much cutting back in this garden on all the beds and stripping out a lot that it's just so much to burn, and we, because of the weather, not really had the time to do it at all. So I'll show you that in a minute anyway. Let's just get down and dirty, and let's actually just tidy up these beds first, shall we? Put him down into here. There's a lot of moisture down in this area. There you go, mate. Go on. There's a slug there you could eat as well, don't they? There you go, off you go. clean the camera up. It's probably a good point just to pause for a second here. Saying about this being a mill but not being a mill, this part here, which is all sunken, is actually where the wagon carts used to come down and swell their wheels, because they had metal around the outside and then wood on the inside. The wood would dry out, and when you react, as we all know, wood with water, they swell. So that's what they used to do. Used to bring down the wagons with the horse-drawn carts, you know, down into a swelling pond like this, and then carry on back up. All of the flint around this garden has been built from the roads and everything. You know, they built all this up many years ago, and yeah, so that's an old swelling pond, so it'd be nice and damp down in there. I'd say the biggest problem with these big gardens is everywhere's a bloody long way away from everywhere else. I mean, I'll average 15,000 steps today, I reckon. Or we're on 4,500 already. Granted, a couple of thousand of those were from the dog walk this morning. But anyway, this is the embarrassing bonfire site. I'll show you other areas that we've been working on, but this will just give you some idea of volume I've been taking out in other areas. It's a pretty big one. Hang on, what's this over here? Golf ball. Always finding golf balls. That's a fairly clean one, that one. Anyway, it's big, isn't it? All these corners in here, most of it's laurel, rose clippings, willow cutback. Oh, sale going off on my phone. That's been a good day for my second business. I had 2 sales already today on the internet, and the guy that sits in the shop for me said that he phoned me yesterday when I was posting off some bits that I had another bar ordered, which is good. Keeps me busy for sure. But anyway, let's walk down to the other end, and we'll have a scout over the work on the borders so far, and we'll have a little mooch around while I have a coffee, and we'll talk about the other areas I've been cutting back. Actually, while I'm up here, I didn't film this. I cut this beech hedge just before Christmas. It was probably, I don't know, it hadn't been done in 2 years, so it had about 3 foot of growth on there. They did have a tractor come in and do it the year before or 2 years before I came, and this was the old tennis court, and they made a right old mess of the ground. It's recovered fairly well, but it is very rivety all the way through here. That end is worse. See, when I was cutting this, I did put up on my Instagram that I found an old wasp nest somewhere around this area. It's fascinating to see things like that. Yeah, the ground is all bumpy and whatever, but yeah, they put this back to grass. Can't believe the contrast in the day today. I won't be surprised if I got wet at some point. Another ball down there for an old tennis ball. There we are. Right, let's go back down the other end. Oh, and this is what tiredness does to you. Look at this. What a sad state of affair. I was rushing this morning. It looks like I've just gone and got a warm cup of urine. I haven't even put coffee in my flask. Oh, bugger. Righty, so I've just been working through here. I think I've done about I don't know, 5 wheelbarrow loads. Giving it all a little trim up this weed. Anyway, it's all looking a lot nicer. There's lots of micro weeding to do. Anyway, sat on the bench pretending to have a coffee, hoping that it might perk me up somewhat, and I'm looking at this laurel hedge bag here, and I think I'm going to give it a bit of a trim up. All this stuff. This used to be an oast house, but it blew down in the 87 storm, as I said earlier on. So this was all farm buildings. That was a pigsty. That's where they swelled the cart. We were talking about that earlier on. Anyway, used to drive through blah 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 blah. A little bit of history. Lovely. I love this gnarly route. Anyway, I'm sure I've got 2 bars left on my battery trimmer. Let's give this a little go. I won't want to really do it in the wind, but I mean, we've got hard ground down here. Leaves aren't going to blow too far away, but it's far from perfect. But hey, got to get on with it, haven't we? This wind is giving me the right hum today. Oh, there you go. Anyway, that's that tidied up. Nothing too spectacular on that, to be honest. It's just a little laurel tidy up. I was just looking at it from over there. Let's go up to the top beds, and I'm going to pretty much mimic what I've done over here. Really, need a good old tidy up. Okay, so we're on the higher bed. You can see where the laurel was back down there, and that's the bed down there I've been working. You can see this is in. Needs a lot more to be cut back. Everything in here. All of these things like the Crocrosmia comes up really easy, but just lots of like the old geraniums need tidying up. Give the sisters a little tidy up. Things like the euonymus and everything there. Box honeysuckle, give that a little prune. Anyway, let's get on with that. Oh, this wind is really giving me the hump. Right, spin the camera around and you can have a look at this area. There's lots of micro weeding to be done in here. Lots of micro weeding. This is just a case of trimming up some of the shrubs, getting the core work done, getting up all of the old scrag from the Crocrosmia and all that sort of thing. Something I've really missed and found this year is the smell of the geranium. Even when I was pulling out the old, get the smell of the geranium coming up. Really like that. Anyway, let's put these knee pads back on. I'm going to tackle this smaller bed here. Completely random. You would have thought I'd work my way around, but I want to try and hide behind this wall a little bit. Try and get out of this wind. Right, I hate the wind. Hate the winds. Right, you probably can't see me there, can you? Right, so that's a lot of bed maintenance today. It's probably going to be all over the place, but hey, not here for fashion tips, and if you were, well, you're an idiot. That's just been a sort of, I feel a bit more achieved now. That's been a day that I've needed to do to help catch up. I need to have one more day like that, being so productive on all the beds, and I'll feel more caught up. As I said, the first thing, this garden always seems to get the bad weather. This is one of those places where Thursdays just seem to be my rainy days, and it doesn't help that the wind does really blow across here, and because it drops down into that little valley garden as well, you get really, because it sort of vortexes, it hammers it through there, and the wind gives me the real hump. I mean, the rain I don't particularly like, and if I can avoid working in it, then I certainly try to do my best nowadays. I feel that in my life I've done so much working in the shocking weather, and because I've got other things going on in my life now, that I've kind of done my time. But I very much understand and respect people that will still plough on through, as long as it's not detrimental to actually doing the job. I've never wanted to work through it. I certainly wouldn't mow in the rain, but that's my own sort of thing. And if anybody wants to do that and the customers are happy with the end results of mowing in the rain, then that's up to them parties. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've watched it to this far, obviously you have, because you're listening to me ramble on. I thank you very much. And I'm going to film again here next week. I'm going to do a little bit more chatting, because I think it'll be a good one to talk about pruning hydrangeas. And I'll talk about a few basic shrubs that people should know, and how and when to cut them to get the most out of them. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Catch up again soon. Cheers.